before I start this speech. That was very emotional, that last song. Thank you for that. Hi, I'm Frank Lauterbach, brother of Jürgen, Udo and Elke. Firstly, I want to thank South 32 for this yearly event, the beautiful memorial structure, the Happiness Historical Society for preserving the records and displays of the events of the day in 1979. Thank you to the Council for the upkeep of this area. Last Ray Lee and the Men's Shed for the latest restore and display of the coal wagons. Could we please give a hand for the magnificent work they did? Also, I'd like to say thank you to the Upton Primary School and the Eora Singers. Today I'm going to speak about why we remember. I assist Brent of Wallandilly Tours on the Saturday night ghost tour. I also do history tours during the week. A lady on the tour said I needed to watch a film called The Great Escaper by Michael Caine before I write this speech. It's a gem of a film. On the 70th anniversary of D-Day, a 90-year-old makes his way to France on his own. He still remembers the loss of a friend that he talked into taking his tank onto the beach, where he was blown up. He meets a black ex-serviceman suffered from post-traumatic trauma. He goes on to the grave of the soldier in France for the first time, which helps him to deal with the trauma of the last 70 years. I have treatment, ongoing treatment, still over what happened 45 years ago. It stays with you, and unless you get help, will eat you up, change you in a way you do not wish. You also make bad decisions due to your depression and take undue risks. Hope this explains why time does not matter and why we need and must remember the fallen like Anzac, the first ones like the Appin Massacre. Well, it's been 45 years since 14 miners lost their lives due to bad management, lack of government inspection, poor communication from one shift to the next of the miners, and the miners not wanting to miss out on their bonus from extra coal production. So all to blame, but what was so wrong is no one was fired, jailed, or even demoted. The share price for BHP went up over the year for 1979, so not even the shareholders at the time cared about the miners' lives. You would think, why do we still care about 40 men who died doing their job? Well, like the movie, we do not forget. I remember the day my brother married Maya and asked me to drive his luxurious Mercedes at the age of 17. I remember my brother was so in love at the age of 29 and how our mother gave him hell because she didn't want him to marry Maya. Maya was 6'7", good looking. He was ahead of his time. He married a beautiful senior career woman with her own house, sports car, which I got to drive, and was a personal assistant to a CEO of one of Australia's great companies. Jürgen, a miner, nearly getting his deputy ticket, nearly had his pilot's license, and was studying to be an engineer at Granville TAFE. His teacher contacted me last year and told me about how he kept trying to talk Jürgen out of leaving the mine. I remember the police knocking on our farm door at 3 a.m. to say there's been an explosion. His job car still had our address. That's his job card, which the mine gave to me, which I gave to Maya, and Maya gave it back to me. Thank you, Maya. I remember waiting till the miners' bodies were brought up. I demanded to see my brother. I was a nervous 18-year-old back then. An MP called Paul Lander took me to see Jürgen. Jürgen had a smile on his face, and I guess he was telling one of his dad jokes. 10 years ago, I rang to see what was happening on the 35th because my second wife to be Andrew said, is there anything happening this year? I spoke to Ray, and Ray said nothing's been organised, but would I be happy to do something? And he emailed me the list of names. If you Google it, you'll find that memorial 10 years ago, which caused this chain of events that we're still having now. Then South 32 did the nameplates at the trees, and in 2020 the Miners Memorial was opened, which I got to cut the ribbon due to COVID. This is like Anzac. Every year it gets greater as we wish to remember the people who gave their lives for us to have a better country. After 1979, we got work cover laws to protect workers, so the 14 men did not die in vain. Now, that part no one wants to talk about. How the death of 14 men changed the lives of so many. Many had kids, now no father. All were loved by their partner, now gone. All had parents who lost their son. And then there are the brothers and sisters. I cannot speak for all of them. My brother Jürgen was 29, larger than life, my best friend, guided me into becoming an acupuncturist at the time and dating this hot German girl called Edith, my first wife, who gave me Rainer and Dieter, my sons. I'm now lucky to have also 3 granddaughters. When I turned 30, which is when Jürgen died, I started to have depression because I felt bad to still be alive. By 40, I had it all. A beautiful wife, kids, mansion, V8 Ute, Mercedes, 5 businesses, awards along the way. However, my depression became worse now due to having proved myself that Jürgen would be proud of. Edith, my wife at the time, who's still my friend, did the best to support me. I took up alcohol. In the end, I lost 5 businesses and lost it all. Planned how to kill myself. Edith made me take the boys and Japanese student we had to the snow one last time before everything was taken away from us. In a very cheap motel, a voice spoke to me. I hope it was Jürgen. The voice said, you chose to bring Rainer and Dieter to this world. Your job is not done. I'm glad I'm still here, and I did follow through and raised my sons very well. I'm very proud of them. Now Angela's my sole partner and second wife. Boys have great wives, a house each, doing well. I live on a farm with horses, and I have a great psychologist in Smitty at Camden. I still want to fight for 20 treatments, as before the current government cut it down to 10. They say 40% of prisoners have mental health problems. Look at some of these attacks. Treatment will save money long term than letting people end up in prison because they cannot cope in society. So 45 years later, it's still like yesterday to me, especially during that last song. 10, I want to say Jürgen's wife, Maya, who's here today, front here, gave over 3 acres of Jürgen's land to Elke and my sister, and me in 1988. It was not in a will, it was Maya's good gesture, and her could see the love and bond that we had. Jürgen married a saint. I'm still close to Maya. Jürgen married his soulmate. At last, I did too with Angela. P.S. Go get help. It's free. At least speak to people or even message me. You're not alone for what you're going through. I'd like to interview people over how this day in 1979 affected your life, and I have done heaps of research to date over the events, history, the hearings, etc. And I'd like to put it to a book so it's kept on record forever. Please see me, Google me, Facebook me. Thank you again for today.